I hope that wasn't nervous energy there that just put the ending at beginning and then almost forgot what I was doing. How are you guys doing this evening?
All good, all good. Good evening, all. Good evening.
Good evening, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
people's.
good. We're good. I'm good. Excited
Yes,
for today.
yes.
Of course.
Yeah.
This should be a good one.
I would say that this was probably, and it definitely would be my hardest this hard far, um, because
You say that
at
every episode.
well, no, I mean, with every episode you get one album, you kind of can rank it around and stuff. You can't now. You've gone that three major albums on there had hits upon hits, and then to condense it to six songs, and then put them in order. This was torture.
Well, this was a long overdue one. This because we've concentrated so much on Teddy and New Edition and all that back catalogue that we had to get these two amazing artists in. We had to.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. As you guys come in, we welcome you, J Hard 72. Welcome, Amelia. Welcome, Mac. Welcome, B Bet 77. Welcome, is it Claude? Welcome. Yes, welcome. This is truly a fun and difficult episode, but two legendary artists, two queens that we're excited to celebrate this evening. Karyn White and Pebbles. They make up some of our most memorable times as growing up. So we're going to go a little bit more into the albums, from Pebbles' debut album, then Karyn came next, and the back and forth, and both with the hey Derek, welcome Derek. Derek is Karyn's manager, so I'm sure Karyn might be popping in and as well. But yes, well, before we go into our music news, it'd be great just to talk about these two amazing women. VJ, I'll start with you. I mean, what can you say about Pebbles and Karyn White?
These two artists meant a lot to me musically. I mean, if you think about Karyn White's debut album, I had it on cassette, and I absolutely annihilated that cassette. I played it so much. There's not a bad song on that first album, and not dissimilar with Pebbles' first album as well. Both very, very good artists, and and all of us had a crush on them, both of them. If anybody says that they didn't, they are lying, because Karyn White and Pebbles were like, wow, these guys, they look that great and they sing like this, and they were the whole package. Both of them were like the whole package, and love both of them as artists. Fantastic back catalogue.
Yeah, Stevie.
I know. Again, it's a tale of two halves. Looking back, I was listening to Karyn White a lot more back then, probably because I've realised now. I feel that Warner Brothers, the label, seemed to promote, especially a first album in the UK, very heavily. I'm still going into record shops now, as I do on my channel, the Vinyl Search. Terrible plug there. But every time I go into a record shop, I still see a Karyn White album. It's still there now. It's like you always look through the soul albums, the R&B albums. There's a Karyn White album there. Not much so a Pebbles album. I might see Single Girlfriend. Now that's all I remember from back then, and I don't know whether that's down to the way MCA as a label promote Pebbles. I'm just talking about the UK, not as a worldwide thing. But I remember seeing Pebbles' Girlfriend everywhere and hearing that everywhere, but not so much the albums. Whereas Karyn White got heavily promoted on that first album here. So I think I got more into Pebbles later on into the 90s, believe it or not, on a third album. Wow. That single dropped, Are You Ready, just at the time blew me away when it came out. So I think now I listen to Pebbles more, probably because I didn't much back then, but I listened to Karyn White a lot more back then than what I do now. but I'm excited for this episode. We've had to pick 12 tracks. We know that probably in our heads, you know, it's the ones we listen to the most. Surely you've picked the ones. I'm not saying the best tracks. My 12 isn't like the best 12 of these two. It's just the ones that I listen to the most, you know, and feel the most. So it's going to be interesting, really interesting.
Okay. Night, Andrew.
This was officially the hardest I've ever experienced on this podcast. We've been doing it for over a year now. And my God, there were some seriously blasphemous, painful omissions that, like, how could this track not make my list? But it didn't. So there's going to be a lot of, what's the word? Gosh, I forgot the word right now because I'm so excited for this episode. But like, you know, just kind of explaining away like why the list went this way or that way. A lot of surprises. I mean, like DJ said, I mean, man, I had crushes on both of them big time. Now, mind you, I was like 12, 13, 14. So I was just starting to like, especially around 12, 13, you start to go from, ooh, girls, cooties to like, girls are awesome, right? And so for me, eyes are open. Now I'm seeing that sweet secret Rendezvous video. And I'm like, good Lord, right? And then you see Pebbles, and there's so many memories from just middle school from these artists. So, man, the catalog of good material is deep. And then the last thing I'll say is, converse to Stevie rather, it was the first two albums that really were part of my life, and this episode is the reason that made me finally give their third album a chance. And I'm happy to say they both like surprised me. Like they both better than I was expecting, because they didn't get a lot of love, I think, at least not in the US. Like, so, but we can talk more about that. But I love this episode, and I'm talking too much already, but I really, I don't know if you guys can tell, I'm really excited to get into this one.
Yeah.
Good vibes, man. Good vibes. Feeling it. Good vibes.
And what are your thoughts?
So
what do you remember from back then specifically?
From what I think, I think Karyn's debut album was when I was in Nigeria, and both Secret Rendezvous and Superwoman were the country, and I would always say this: when Superwoman comes on, I was in boarding school, so we went. We weren't getting, so my daughter is now, and she put some real hot Nigerian pepper on her eggs. So yeah. Anyway, so all of a sudden I'm coughing. When Superwoman came, yes. When Superwoman came out, and I was in school, and making breakfast, and when you're getting rationed food, you can so yes. But I was in
mate, we need to have a word with your daughter, mate, because you always seem, the minute you start this podcast on a Sunday, she's in that kitchen cooking. You know, ask her to do it an hour early or maybe an hour later or something. Look at the guy's coughing away here.
Yeah. It's like tear gas.
Hanging in by a thread, man. He's hanging in by a thread.
Well, I guess, I mean,
anyway,
yeah.
Jelly Bean. Just before we start off, can you talk?
Yeah, I had some thoughts about that. Like, this man, I mean, to explain his impact on R&B, funk, soul, the Minneapolis sound it's a massive loss. This is a big loss to music. He was in the time. They had the albums in 81, 82, 84, and then the original 7 album, Vanity 6 in 82, Sheila E in 84. He was even on Janet Jackson's Dream Street. Like, this is like early Janet, an incredible album. If anybody doesn't know it, DeBarge's Rhythm of the Night, he was on that in 85. He had his solo album Shockadelica in 86. Worked with Morris Day on Daydreaming in 88. Paula Abdul, 88, Suan Carwell in 88, Cheryl Lynn. He was on the good stuff with Cheryl Lynn. Like, I mean, this man means a lot musically. He was on Janet's Control, Rhythm Nation. Stevie will be very excited by this album that's even being mentioned. Cool School, he was involved in that.
Yes.
He produced Alexander O'Neal's Criticize. He was responsible for the original. And when Jam and Lewis turned around and said when they did Crucial, hey Jelly Bean, can you create a song which sounds like Teddy Riley's New Jack Swing? And then we got that incredible dance remix of Crucial. That was Jelly Bean Johnson. He worked with Rod Stewart, Shaka Khan. I wonder if any of you can think of a Father MC connection with Jelly Bean Johnson. Can you think of one?
Yeah, I can think of one.
Well, yeah.
All I Want Is Affection. I'm sure it's got to be that one.
Yes. Tamara and Scene Affection, which was a sample used on All I Want by Father MC. That was his song.
Did he do Mint Conditions first album?
He did.
Yeah,
and so Forever in Your Eyes, Pretty Brown Eyes. So a lot of my favorites, Crucial, if you guys, I'm a New Edition guy, right? So Crucial, that's legitimately probably like my number 2 favorite New Edition song, if you're counting the remix. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that in there. But then Forever in Your Eyes and Pretty Brown Eyes are also among my favorites of Mint Condition, and Forever in Your Eyes in particular, I think is super underrated. But anyway, just had to jump in there, man. But you're doing amazing, Veej, with your breakdown. Your knowledge is sick. Both of y'all's knowledge is sick.
So we've lost the host. I'm sure he'll be back in a moment. The host is back.
It's been hot pepper soup. It's been hot pepper soup with Nandi, as we say in Nigeria.
I saw this connection with Karyn because Karyn was part of the Jam and Lewis family, and so she was up in Minneapolis and stuff. And I saw a post by his wife this afternoon, picture taken with him 3 days ago.
Yeah,
when they went to see a show. So it doesn't look as if this was like a long-term illness. So. And she played a song about, time, just being aware of time. So we sent out prayers to his wife and the whole Minneapolis Sound family as well. Okay. So both these amazing women, and, I think we started it off and it says Karyn White versus Pebbles, but it was it was more like two women who were, even though Pebbles came out in 87 and Karyn came out in 88, their albums sort of mirrored each other. They had the same producers, well, a lot of Babyface and stuff like that. And they, 3 albums on these major labels. For me, I think when third albums came out, I think that I think MCA closed the year after his third album came out, so they didn't really put any effort into promoting it. And then I think with Warner Brothers, with Karyn, if they had released what's the Babyface track? Can I Stay a While? Is that the one on the third album?
I think Can I Stay With You?
Can I Stay With You? I think if that was the first single, that album would have done much better. I think because if you think about 94, we had a lot of, this was the peak of 90s R&B with TLC
Tony
and Mary and everything. The song that would really capture the radio.
Oh dear.
So yeah, it was disappointing that the albums didn't get the attention they needed, but listening to them now, wow, yeah. What did you make of their third albums? What didn't get the push?
With Pebbles' third album, I think it's wildly underrated. I think it's such a special album. I think if you're talking about that 90s R&B sound, and 95 in particular, which is when it came out, that time, there was just so much good music coming out. And this is as good as anything that came out in that album. You take a song like You, which was produced by Chucky Thompson, Pebbles, and Puffy. Unbelievable. The 3 Organized Noise songs, you've got Alex Riesborg on there. I don't know what to say about that third album. It's a very special album. You won't think that when you see my list, but that's a separate conversation. We'll get to that later anyway. But both of those last 3 out, the third album for both artists was fantastic. Really, really good albums.
Yeah, my theory. I keep talking. I'll just go ahead. Yeah, my theory is that again, both artists came out like during that new Jack Swing era proper, right? So by the time 94, 95 came out, to me, it was more hip hop soul. And because, you know, Pebbles had more of that Organized Noise and Chucky Thompson thing going on, I do feel like the Pebbles album felt more in line with the times, because by that time it was about people like Faith Evans. It was about Toni Braxton. It was about Mary J. Blige. And I feel like those kind of like, I'm not taking anything away from Karyn White and Pebbles, but I feel like the landscape had changed. And I think that when the landscape changes, it's then hard to kind of find an audience. Do you go more, especially with Karyn, I felt like that album was more of an adult contemporary. And I think that at that point, like, I'm not sure if R&B adult contemporary had really solidified then. It was like kind of like an in-between stage, whereas Pebbles had a bit more of a younger feel to it. It was still classy, but again, you had a bit more of a Atlanta, you know, hip hop soul era thing going on. So I do think it was also a mismatch between the artist and kind of the times, in addition to maybe some of the industry politics happening at the label. But again, I do think that the albums they deserved more attention than they got. That's how I viewed it.
And Stevie, you said you later got to the third album.
Well, I listened to this album a lot, and I'm so thankful that they didn't put a load of rappers on this. They could have easily just put a bunch of rappers on this.
Yeah.
I played this album a lot. I really enjoyed this album. You could argue that the new Jack sound was done by 94, but I liked Hungah. I thought it was a really strong single. I'm glad they did them upbeat dance tracks, like new Jack flavored tracks on the album. Really, I think the album sounds really good still today. The ballads, the mid tempos, it's a strong album.
I think I was a closet A&R person back in the day, and so you listen to an album and think, okay, this is the kind of video, this is the single. Knowing radio in 94 and knowing what was happening, I think Hungah was the third single. That's when I thought the Babyface, because he ruled he was doing his getting ready for Waiting to Exhale. He said, if I was at Warner Brothers, I would say the reunion that we were waiting for since 1988, Babyface and Karyn White return, and then Can I Stay with Can I Stay with You comes out, and it would have been a slow burner, and it would have just really have gotten everyone's attention. And but I think Hungah, which was a beautiful mellow track and everything, I think radios would have just given it a try, and then it played all the other and all the stuff that was happening at that time, and it then becomes harder to cross through the airwaves and stuff. But I loved something. It had some real strong ballads. What did we make of the debut albums, starting with Pebbles?
So good, man. Like, so good.
So many more singles could have been released off that. Listening now.
Yeah. Some of Charlie Wilson's best music outside of his own work, so as a solo artist and with the Gap Band, was on that Pebbles album. Some amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. And I'm sure we'll talk about Mercedes Boy at some point, but Charlie Wilson did a song called I Want to Ride with a group called Mannequin. The lead singer was Kenny Lattimore, and that music was taken from that song and used on Mercedes Boy. So if you like Mercedes Boy, which I suspect a lot of you do, you need to hear Kenny Lattimore sing over that same music. It's stunning.
It's a great groove, isn't it? It's just a great groove. It's like you get rhythms in reggae. Oh, they just took the rhythm and made it. Was it? And I don't know which came first. Was it Mannequin or Pebbles? I can't remember.
I think Mannequin probably came first. I think it was Mannequin. Yeah,
because I thought Mannequin was 88, wasn't it? Pebbles was 87. I can't remember. I'll have to Discogs it.
Yeah.
But either way, I
Pebbles
think they were both like answer songs. It was like an answer back song, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. But both fantastic,
great records.
Fascinating.
Yeah. Oh, I do remember this. But LA said they were supposed to give it to Pebbles, but so Vanessa Williams, but they got more money to do it with Pebbles, so they got twice as much for the producing fee to record it on Pebbles. Babyface, when he did his Questlove interview, he said that was it L.A. Reid? I can't remember. One of them going there, and then whoever Pebbles was with at the time doubled the rate. They're like, okay, sure, we'll give you the track, and the rest was history.
That reminds me of a thought that I had about just artists doing different songs, and to me, like "Knocked Out" by Paula Abdul, I think could have easily been done by Pebbles too. I think she would have sounded really good on that one, possibly even better. So yeah, I just want to throw that out.
So many good songs. Vanessa Williams didn't get Girlfriend, but she came out with The Right Stuff, which was a brilliant track. And there was so many good songs floating around there. So to do, there was probably tape cassette demos going around all these artists to choose songs from, and just luckily a lot of them came out. We're lucky to hear them, really.
Veach, you're going to say something, right?
Yeah, he brought a book out.
I was going to say, you mentioned Vanessa Williams there. Chucky Booker and Kipper Jones were musicians on that song, The Right Stuff, and they're all over that album. But I was going to say, there's a chapter in this called Girlfriend. It's L.A. Reid's book, Sing to Me. Andrew recommended it, I believe. I think you did. Yes. Brilliant book. And in that, it says about Girlfriend, Vanessa Williams refused to work with LA and Babyface after the song magically appeared with Pebbles. But I think in this, it says that L.A. Reid was trying to impress Pebbles. Like this was the beginning of their courtship. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw a clip of L.A. Reid doing talking to BLS and saying every little step. I can't sleep at night, toss and turn, waiting for the call. When about Pebbles, couldn't imagine that she would even consider going out with him. So that was sort of the part on there. The other big thing was success of Karyn's debut album. Babyface were expected to work with her again on a follow-up album, but L.A. Reid that they got both he and Babyface got invited to a Warner Brothers function, and his name has disappeared from your head now. Who's the head of Warner Brothers Black Music?
Benny Medina.
Benny Medina called them, invited them because they were the success of Karyn's debut album. Comments were doing. LA was dating Pebbles, and he shows up with Pebbles, and Benny says, "Why did you bring her here? That you've got to no, she can't come in." And he was like, "No, that's my girl." He says, "No, that she's Karyn's rival. You can't bring her in." Ego and LA said, "Come on, guys, we're leaving," and they leave. Benny says that you're not going to work with Karyn ever again because of that. And 5 years later, Benny says, apologies, this was a Warner Brothers stuff. All the Warner Brothers were there, and Karyn was Pebbles' biggest rival. Oh, well, no, at the time they were at the same.
Yeah.
And you bring in, it's almost as if you're laughing, mock everyone there. Can you imagine coming to an event and bring in and then Sync event and Backstreet Boys show up or something? You know, back just thinking something, but that meant they couldn't work with her for this follow-up album. But listening to Rituals of Love, I don't think they were missed. Because listening to what Jimmy and Terry did with that on that album, I was like, man, they had the up-tempo stuff, they had the sounds black. There was a different vibe and energy of what Jam and Lewis did production-wise.
I want to jump in. Yeah, no, and I distinctly remember. I mean, Jimmy Jam specifically used the word aping. I think he said Romantic was our best attempt at aping the LaFace sound. And I remember the first time hearing Romantic back in '91, I did think, when you listen to the percussion on that song, it sounds like classic LaFace. So when you find out it's Jam and Lewis, I was just like, man, Jam and Lewis are. I think that's when I came up with the term of the magicians. I just really think that they make magic with their music, and Romantic it carried that DNA through. So, and then as you'll find out on this podcast, your boy Andrew does not just like Ritual of Love a little. Like Ritual of Love is that is my ish. So that's my first kind of mini spoiler there. My God, I love that album.
It's a great album. It's such a strong album.
It definitely is. It definitely is. I mean, there was a song that I can't remember what it is now. I will get it in there, but it was happy. It was upbeat. I actually didn't think they missed LA and Babyface because I think that it had her first number one on Rituals of Love, and so it was definitely a different vibe and different energy, and I thought this was Jam and Lewis really stepping up and not as you said, trying to take some of that face stuff, but Karyn co-wrote pretty much most of the songs on the album as well, so that was a whole different vibe on there. Yes. Anyway, so I don't know how we're gonna do this. Start from 12. So, guys, as you're watching, what we normally do on this episode on this show is that when we're doing these ratings, we're gonna rate our top 12 songs from both artists. Impossible to do. I mean, when you're thinking about 6 albums and over 60 songs, we only have to pick 12 and 6 from each. And we're going to rank them from number 12 down to number 1. And then at the end, we're going to also rank our top, the 6 albums in from 6 now to 1. And it's just preference and at this time. So I will start off and say what song will come in at number 12 for me. And it was from Straight to the Heart album. And I would say that I really did love this album. And you'd be surprised. Let me see. Yeah, there were some songs that I really, really, really this album. But at number 12 for me came in "And More Try," and that was produced by Kyle West and Pebbles. Can you imagine? And you can hear some of Kyle West's little night and day influences on. But yeah, it was. I think just listening to how Pebbles her vocals and reminded me of Shantae Moore. She has her soft voice, and actually, in some elements, there were elements of, especially on the Straight to the Heart album, there were elements of Michael Jackson, like that Butterflies, that type of tender type of song, not overstretching.
There was a cover. There was an MJ cover version on there.
Yeah, there was. Yes, but yeah. So at number 12 for me is "Try." Give me one more try. Yeah,
nice choice.
Yeah.
Number 12 for me was off Pebbles' first album. It is sampled in 8 songs and was covered in Nicole's Two Hearts Are Better Than One. Produced by Paul Jackson Jr., involvement from Louis Silas Jr. and Alex Brown. It is Two Hearts. And this song is a fantastic song. It's an ode to an older style, because this was kind of like the cusp and music was changing. The sound was changing, and Two Hearts sounds like an ode to yesteryear. So it sounds like something that could have been made in 86 or 85. But it's a fantastic song, and I think it's I love it. Two Hearts, that's my number 12.
That could have been a single easy for me. Imagine an extended mix of that. Oh,
I would have loved to hear an instrumental of that. Oh my god, very nice. It would have been great. It's a lovely song, and Louis Silas Jr. as well, and Paul Jackson Jr. together. That's a killer combo.
Yeah,
I mean, it's interesting because I picked. And I'm sure you're the same, VJ. We picked 12 tracks, but I'm sure I could have picked another 12 here as like a playlist that would even been easily as strong. You know what I mean? Including that track. I haven't picked that track in my top 12 because I've only just been listening to it recently. I think why weren't I listening to that track back then? Absolute killer track.
I think you could create 2 or 3 top 12s. I think there's so much good music between these 6 albums. I mean,
and it's not about hits, it's about the quality of the tracks itself. Someone mentioned there's not enough hits. Well, so what? I mean, you know, these quality album tracks that we're talking about here that could have been released as singles, or the labels could have done something with. But I'll get to my number 12, and I've gone with something that I did mention about 5 minutes ago. And that was the track from Pebbles that launched a 3rd album. And I've gone with the Mario mix. Was it? I think it was included I know it's on the digital version. I'm not sure if they included it at the end of the CD. I'd have to dig my CD out. But the Mario mix of Are You Ready? I just think for 95, it was just so bang on. It's such a sophisticated R&B club track, that for me. That mix, the way it came out, it dropped. And for those that have maybe forgotten about Pebbles, it was like she was bang right there again. It's like, whoa, she's here again. And you heard that.
And the thing about that song is the little ad-libbing by Mario Winans is just it's stratospheric. He sounds incredible on that song. So he adds a lot to that song. And Namdi, you're always giving me a hard time about remixes. Do you want to say anything to Stevie? I'm just saying.
In fact,
I mean, there's another thing I want to add. We keep hearing stories about Pebbles from other people. What I really want to hear now is Pebbles' own story. We keep hearing Pebbles this happened, that happened. I'd love to hear Pebble come out of Pebbles' mouth for all the backlash she's received over the years. So it's like, come on, I just want to hear her story.
I mean, I would say that I've interviewed Tim and Bob, as well as Mark Nelson and Tony Rich, and they all credit Pebbles for their career. So Mario Winans was the first person in her camp, and she told them about, and she got them out, and they also mentioned, and Tim and Bob mentioned, oh, we've got our guy Mario Winans. He played some stuff on the phone, and she flew him out the next day. And so I think there are 2 sides. Those who work directly with her would have a very different story. And everyone understands music politics. You know, Michael Bivins. We saw Michael Bivins and Boyz II Men on The Breakfast Club. You know, as much as some would give credit about launching us, there are others who would talk about could have done better. And Mike Bivins said, "Look, I was a kid, what I was told." So, so there's just so much about backstories that we don't listen to and hear. And she was also credited for building LaFace. It wasn't just LA and Babyface. You know, she was part of the empire that started that, and with TLC. So, yes, she has said that when she is ready, she will be able to come and give a story. Yes, night.
Right. That would be great.
All right. I think there's a lot of love for the Straight from the Heart album by Pebbles in the number 12 position because, yes, my number 12 also comes from Straight from the Heart. And when I was listening to the album for the first time, I hit this song on repeat, and I just did. And this song is called Soul Replacement. Looking at the credits, it was Faith Evans, Big Rube, someone named Etheridge, and then Organized Noise. And what I liked about the song was, I was talking about how albums have to kind of sound with the times, right? So someone had mentioned Crazy, Sexy, Cool. That album, I think, kind of helped define what the sound was. And I felt like this album could kind of hang with that orbit. And when you've got like that spoken word section in the middle, and then Sleepy Brown has that little section in there's just something very hypnotic and zoomed in about that song. So I just was like, I like this. This sounds nothing like Girlfriend or Mercedes Boy or Giving You the Benefit of the Doubt. So to me, it kind of represented an evolution in her sound. So for that reason, I've got Soul Replacement absolutely representing, kicking out other songs like Give It To Me. Give It To Me. I'm sorry, I have to give that love. I love that song. Didn't make the list. Hell no. But it's like I love that song. But Soul Replacement, there's so many others. I'm gonna mention more songs. I'm gonna breadcrumb them. But anyways, you guys get it. Soul Replacement, 12.
And that's an Organized Noise song. There are 3 absolute gems by Organized Noise on there. And I was just talking about this yesterday to one of my friends, Claude, who's on this podcast, listening to this podcast now. Happy, I think, could have been a song for Michael Jackson. It's so good.
Yeah. Yeah. There was a number of tracks that you'd hear and think Michael, and that's what I said. Yeah. There was there's a track that connects both Karyn White and Pebbles. Does anyone know what track that is?
Is it a Babyface track?
Yes.
Oh wait, was Pebbles, was one of them singing backgrounds and the other? I think that's probably what it was, right?
Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, I get half credit for that. Because I was thinking, was it Superwoman?
It is Pebbles' "Say a Prayer for Me."
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you have Karyn White singing. You can hear Karyn White and Johnny Gill singing backbone, and then Babyface. And so I put it in the little ad because I'm listening to this and I can hear Babyface first, then I can hear Karyn, then Johnny comes in, say a prayer for me. Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm sure this was a time when it just the whole history of what was going on, and Darryl Simmons touched on this, was that when they were working, Johnny was everywhere, and so was Karyn. They loved Karyn doing backgrounds on Johnny's stuff and stuff they were doing. Okay, come on, Karyn, come and do some of this stuff, because she was really powerful vocally. And so this was an evidence of a song they probably did when they were around the time they were doing Karyn's album, and they just said, the backgrounds on that. So it was just a family that they were all together. So there's no rivalry. There's not like, yeah. Okay, number 11 for me. Oh goodness, I don't know how this is at number 11. But this is from Karyn's. This is from her. What's it? This is from her second album, and it was one of those Jam and Lewis kind of upbeat tracks that it gave me optimistic kind of vibes, but that really powerful stuff, and it was Love That's.
I knew it. I love that song. Sorry, I knew it. Sorry, I just knew it. Sorry.
He breaks his desk there, and he breaks his tape.
I don't know why it's not high.
I just pull everything.
It was just so. Yeah, I'm feeling so happy, and I'm listening. Oh, why didn't they do a video? It was just and that's when I was thinking, I don't think she needed Face, LA and Babyface on this album because they gave a different vibe, and the energy was different. It was positive, and yeah. So I loved that song.
Oh, yeah.
It was harder for me because as I said, I was able to put my 6 Karens in order, and I was like, how do I fix it in there? But that was just took it, with the production there. Never me, yeah. So that's number 11 for me. Okay,
Wow.
My number 11 is off Pebbles, Straight from the Heart. It's my only inclusion from the 1995 album. And this is the thing with this list. There's just so many songs here.
Yes.
So I don't think it's an indictment on the quality of the music, because I could pick 3 more lists with top 12s. There's 36 songs here, which are all worthy of a top list. It's that good, the music by both of these ladies. But I have to clarify that because I feel bad because there's no more.
So you've only picked one track from this album.
I could only pick one.
I hope it's the one I'm thinking is V. I'll be very, very disappointed if it isn't.
I would, if I was going to pick another song, it would have been You, possibly. Might have been Happy. But I've gone with the Mario Winans Are You Ready? And I had to. And I wanted to also say that Mario Winans is like Babyface. He's a master musician and an incredible background vocalist. And the way he makes a whole song come together, it feels very full when it's a Mario Winans production or a Babyface production. So I can see why Pebbles was able to spot talent the way she did. I mean, Mario Winans was recording music in 1990. He did some track with his mum, Vicky Winans, who is there's a remix with R. Kelly. He's done some other stuff, but this was when he was really starting to come through as a producer. Are You Ready? 1995. I remember when this single came out. Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Wow.
I had to put the comments in because the comments are just are really interesting. So I wanted everyone to see because we could see all the comments, but I wanted everyone else to be able to see that as you're commenting, we're all seeing everything. So that's why I've had to put it in there. Steve.
I picked a track from Karyn's second album, which was heavy in rotation back then. Not the CD, the album. I bought the vinyl album first, believe it or not. And it's, it's on a vinyl album now. These, anything from 1990 onward, in terms of like R&B, swing, the prices are going up. So this vinyl album now, you're talking £15 and above for a good condition, 15, 20, £25. So if you see one, grab one. But I've gone for, and this might surprise a lot of you, there's a track produced by Lainey Stewart on this album. And it's, at the time, I was really into like Quiet Storm, grooved out, like sexual, mid-tempo with ballads. And she did a track called How I Want You. And I just blew.
Yeah.
You want to get in the mood, girl. You know what I mean? You want to get in the mood, and you want to, have let's just say an interesting evening. A bit of aerobics going on. Get that track on, and
it's on my list.
You're on your way.
You know me, I love a ballad. It is on my list. So.
This had a bit of a groove. It had a bit of a
doom. Yeah.
Yes.
Doom. Yeah. Goodness. As I said, I'm listening to some again, and I'm thinking, okay, it didn't have on the R&B side the Superwoman, but I think the difference was when the debut album came out, it was a breakthrough time, and LA and Babyface sound was rich. But I think anyway, we're going to rank the albums at the end, so I'm not going to say too much. Night.
All right. Really quickly, both Love That's Mine and How I Want You did not make my list. And that's what I mean by blasphemy. That's why this hurt me, because you can see my enthusiasm for both those songs. They're not even in the top 12. So that's why I'm just saying these y'all, like, I think we knew they were dope. We did, but we just didn't realize how dope. So I hope that everyone who hears this realizes, like, also has the same kind of, you know what? They're even doper than we realized. So that said, here is my first, I remember the word now, disclaimer. And because I'm about to drop a track and I think a card might be thrown. But at number 11, it's a Pebbles track and it's automotively related. And dude, at number 11 is Mercedes Boy. So I'm now gonna duck the tomatoes, maybe. But this list is all about our personal taste, right? But yeah, Mercedes Boy is making a very early entrance at number 11. That's
At least you put it in there.
Yeah, I didn't.
I feel better.
Wow.
Yeah, because for me, the self-titled album was I did prefer that. At number 10 for me is from her self-titled sophomore album. It's Give Me the Benefits, and I didn't realize that was Pebbles because it was massive in Nigeria when it came out. I can still remember when I hear the song, I can still get flashbacks
huge.
when that came out, and I'm like, oh my goodness. And it was it was such a massive song, and that's what I was saying, that at the time I was in Nigeria, ballads weren't as appreciated. Africans, we want something fast in the drums, so all these up-tempo songs were really really appreciated. So that this was a nice comeback for her. So number 10, Giving You the Benefit.
Before we move on, I gotta jump on that really quick. Giving You the Benefit was so huge. Now picture this. I lived in Atlanta, Canada. Demographically speaking, think Hawkins, Indiana, Stranger Things. So yes, I was like the only black kid in the school, right? Now, our gym teacher, the female gym teacher, she had like a mullet, okay? She was definitely more of a rocker type, right? But she was obsessed with the Always album. So we'd always like run around the gym to Giving You the Benefit. I'm just telling y'all, like, that is how massive that song was, that it crossed over to like the rocker set. Like, so in Atlantic Canada, which was like there was no black radio out there. So anyway, that's it. I had to share.
Oh my goodness. Oh goodness me. Go ahead.
My number 10, it's 3 Pebbles tracks in a row. This is off her 1987 album. This is sampled in one song. It's produced by Charlie Wilson, and this version is fantastic. The song is Do Me Right. It's my number 10. But the version of this is the 12-inch version, which is remixed by LA and Babyface. And when you can hear Pebbles, Charlie Wilson, and Babyface doing the ad-libbing, oh my God, it's too much. It's just too much. That remix is just perfection. Do Me Right the remix is just insane. Album version, stunning in and of itself. Charlie Wilson production. Do Me Right is my number 10.
What's interesting is you've already played your first 3 Pebbles cards here, VJ. Used them up. Wow.
I've got 3 more. I've got 3 more.
You've got 3 more. Let's see where they make and see where you place them.
Stevie, what about you?
Well, I'm gonna use my second Karyn White card here. I'm sticking with this album, and I'm specifically going to mention the producers Christopher Troy and Zach Harmon. I loved their New Jack sound back then. All these little production camps had their own like New Jack sound, and I just wanted to highlight their little sound. It was a very upbeat, made you really feel good. The track I picked was actually a single, was The Way I Feel About You. I always play that record. It's a real big favorite of mine, that, and it's made my number 10. So played my second Karyn White card. Really strong single. It does kind of. It's very similar to one of the big singles on the first album. I think it was the second. The way that. So yeah, I've gone with that anyway.
Yeah, that made my top 20. Not top 20. My top 10 Karyn White stuff.
I didn't think anybody else would pick, but I just feel that I think you touched upon it earlier night. I think we're all going to pick out little gems from all these 3 albums here that, you know, all round wise, I think a lot of little gems are going to get pulled out here, which is great.
Yeah, Can I say how painful it is to not say anything? So I so want to say something, but I'm not going to. I'm just gonna
it's not worth it, mate.
But it's like I feel like a Labrador, like a you know what I'm talking, like those dogs, like those lap dogs that go. Anyways, all right. So number 10 for me is the first appearance by Miss Karyn White, and this song, I'll admit, I didn't really check like that until this one, and it's from her first album. This song was something that I didn't see until last weekend, and that is Love Saw It. I knew the song existed, but I just realized, man, this song is doper than I realized. So it's my number 10, and I'm sticking to it, and that's all.
Hey, at least always trying to get a Babyface track in there somehow, right? Hey, hopeful. How you doing? Okay, number 9 for me. Oh, goodness, so going back to straight from the heart, and this was. I'm like, goodness, this is when I thought Shantae's more, and I thought also a little bit of Butterflies. It is Show Me, Pebbles.
Wow.
Organized Noise producing this stuff. I'm like, wow. Show Me. Yeah. The production, how she delivered it, just it felt like she didn't. They said, look, don't rush. Take your time. And there's so much, and I was actually pleasantly surprised. And I was very disappointed that I didn't know about this album in '95. I didn't know about it, and I'm thinking. I think MCA was as I said, they dissolved the year later, so I can imagine they just said, let's just put it out just to fulfill the obligation. But it was such a strong album, and so it was really disappointing that I didn't hear about it until now. And yeah, but this was just an amazing vibe. Yeah, Show Me. That's number 9 for me.
My number 9 is my first inclusion by Karyn White. It's off her 1994 album, and my only inclusion from her 1994 album. It is produced by Jam and Lewis. It samples the Barcade Holy Ghost from 1978, the Honey Drippers Impeach the President from 73, and James Brown's Payback from 1973. It is Hungah. And I love this song. I think it's such an incredible song. It's great energy. It's a little bit. It's a continuation of what Jam and Lewis started in '92 with their new style, their interpretation of that higher tempo New Jack style. And Hungah's a fantastic song. I love it. And
is it almost like That's the Way Love Is updated?
Yeah, brilliant. It was brilliant.
Hungah for You. It reminded me of something like the Brand New Heavies or something like that. I don't know. It just had that, not neo soul, but it's that almost like Black British.
I know what you mean.
Type of vibe that you'd get. Yeah. I can't remember what the track, but it was. Yeah. But I think if you know. When you think about what was coming out in '94, you can understand why I was disappointed how what they brought out and how that song would have to cut through the airwaves in '94. If My Life, Boys to Men's 2 came out in '94, Crazy Sexy Cool, Aaliyah's, Zhané, Brandy's debut album, Blackstreet, Above the Rim. Keith Sweat's Get Up On It, Anita Baker's Rhythm of Love, Madonna's Bedtime Story, Love Supreme by Shantae, 21 Ways by Shanice, so Sade's Best of Show. So I'm just listening to a few of Changing Faces, Elder Behind the Soul. So this is just a few of the Functified by Mario, Melvin Wine, Love by. So just to say that even as Ex-Girlfriend came out, it's a woman thing. So when you think about just a handful of songs, the albums that were popping at that time, you needed to really cut through black radio. And this is when program directors could control it, not like now. It was really, you needed a vibe. And because Babyface was ruling, I think doing a Babyface track would have gone, oh, this is a new Babyface track. He's just done I'll Make Love to You and the Red Light Special. Let's just play it.
You could do what P. Diddy did and send one of his interns to the radio station with a suitcase with $150,000 in and go on the CD promo and go, play that all week for us, please. Just A-list that. And it seemed to work a treat back then in the mid-90s. You know what I mean? Bit the old payola.
But I'm the list of albums that came out. Not many Warner Brothers. I mean, Atlantic was still doing their thing with say Intro and maybe In Vogue and they went. Warner Brothers wasn't good with black music around, and so that's probably that didn't have their eye to the ball. So Universal and BMG, Arista knew how to play the radio game much better. So that was just my thing.
I don't know. I mean,
lovely track.
Tevin Campbell was 94. Can We Talk? It's one of the biggest R&B tracks of that year.
Yeah, but as I said, a Babyface track.
Yeah, big
should have used a Babyface track.
It's so funny you mentioned
everyone.
But Tevin Campbell was talking about how that album, I'm Ready, didn't even get its full push because Prince was at war with Warner Brothers at that time, and Prince had done a couple of tracks on that album, so even that tainted the album for Tevin. So so it's funny how all three tracks on I'm Ready were the Face ones, and this is where I get a chance to say that one of the songs that Karyn did, Can I Stay With You, totally has Always in My Heart Aftershocks. If you listen to the tracks, they actually sound somewhat similar. So anyway, all this is making a lot of sense. I follow it. Politics is real.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's why I said if you had come out with that, Go ahead, Reed.
And I was going to say, Bashir, Weakness is the song that I would have gone with if I didn't go for Hungah. Weakness, very similar kind of production styles, but I went with the big single there. And Dallas Nightlife 7787. I agree with you. At the time, Hungah did not resonate with me, but over time, I realized that I was overly critical about songs back then because we were spoiled. Hungah is great. If I listen to Hungah now, it sounds amazing.
Yeah, it is.
If I listen to some of the shit that's on the radio, I don't think so, man. So Hungah's amazing. It's amazing. So I agree with you.
Yeah. So most people understand that a Warner Brothers in the funk so it really made a massive difference. That's why I said they did the Babyface tracks. It would have opened doors.
Stevie.
Yes, Stevie.
I think number nine we're on, aren't we?
Yes.
Number 9.
Yeah.
I'm going to give a big shout to my new Jack Swing buddy who I attend the new Jack Swing parties with in Birmingham. This is actually his favourite song from Pebbles. And I was umming and ahhing out of the two big singles from Pebbles' debut album, which to include. Girlfriend didn't make my list. Gosh, how was Girlfriend not made my list? But I've just gone for the more grooved out Mercedes Boy, just to kill a groove. I can't. That groove has just stayed with me. And I like the way Pebbles also, she sings a little word. When she sings at the end of it, she does this ooh like that. I love the way she phrases it. You hear a lot in Girlfriend actually, and she does it on a few of the tracks. She has this little. She goes, ooh, like that. Like, ooh, I can't do it because I can't sing. If Pebbles is watching, she knows what I'm talking about anyway. I love it when she does that. But anyway, Mercedes Boy, great. What a groove. So great pop R&B song, that. And it's my number 9. Thank you very much.
I'm taking the mic. All right. So I love the way Pebble says, with me, with me, with me. And that song. Oh, anyways, I'm going to calm down. All right. So number 9 for me is another Karyn White track. And I think it's safe for me to say that, yes, when I mentioned Soul Replacement, that was the only track on my entire list from a third album by either of them. So that's it. Everything else is from the first 2 albums. So number 9 is indeed, even though I love this song, and when I first heard it in 1991, I thought to myself, man, I think if there was a Gem and the Holograms movie, Gem should be singing this, because it just sounded that big, and it was a huge crossover. It was all over MTV the same time You're Never Gonna Get It by En Vogue was out. And that song indeed was a video with a purplish blue sheen, and this beautiful woman was still there with pearls going on, and that is Romantic by Karyn White at number 9. And the fact that I have it so high in my list tells you that there's some heat, at least heat for me, coming up in 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right.
What a lovely picture that is.
Nice.
Good Lord.
Warner Brothers should have given us a poster. Got the vinyl out there and get a nice poster of this. But
yeah, I mean, they didn't handle the show right after his debut album, Yeah. Okay. Number 8 for me is I'll just go straight to it. Is I think there was I'm surprised where it is, but then again, looking through the list, it's Girlfriend by Pebbles. Love the track. Love when she says your deal, and they join in. I mean, that is just so classic. I mean, if you ever see them doing the live performance, and then you see them come to the front, and then they sing their stuff and goes back and stuff. I didn't understand the timing, because I thought LA and Babyface had moved on, but then the fact that they featured a deal on Girlfriend, I didn't understand timing, and how Dick Griffin didn't get half the publishing on that. But anyway, beautiful track, beautiful. It was one of the most popular songs for me. I preferred it to Giving It to You Benefits. Yeah, that's it. Reach.
My number 8 is off Karyn White's 1988 album. And if there was ever an indication of how significant and how impactful Karyn White is or was, this song was sampled in at least 8 songs. It was sampled in Big Daddy Kane's Warm It Up, Kane. Drops the mic, see you later. That says everything you need to know. It was also sampled in Loki's The Shawanda Story. It's, of course, The Way You Love Me. And this single is an absolute gem. The mixes on this, what a song. Yeah. Karyn White sampled it with Big Daddy Kane sampled her. The end. She wins. That's it.
Wow.
That's it. End the podcast.
Wow. How many tracks have been picked by the same? Has anything been? I've heard. Try to think now. I've heard.
Are you ready? We both said, "Are you ready?"
Yeah, and I'm sure Knight and you've picked.
I picked Mercedes Boy, and I think you did too. We both picked Mercedes Boy.
Yeah. So all right. So that's interesting. So there is a few the same. Right. I had 2 tracks in my top 12 from this album, but then I realised I've this one track for another album I didn't pick. So only one track, unfortunately, has made it from this album. And I played this a lot, but the track I've gone for, I'm going to mention the back some of the backroom staff they had at Jimmy. We talked about Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, but he mentioned Lisa Keith on this, Steve Hodge. They had so many people behind the scenes that did a lot of stuff for him. That what an incredible production unit. But the track I've gone for, the bass line starts at bum bum bum. Bum 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 bum, then it kicks in. Oh, it kills me. Weakness. Weakness. That's my.
You maybe
I
you're my
probably always
weakness.
pick that track. But, I still play that today. Kills me. Bum bum bum. That bass line. Bum,
Fantastic
bum,
track.
Bum, 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 bum. It's a killer. Absolute killer.
The song, it feels like it just keeps coming for you. You're my weakness, and she keeps saying it. The way
you're my
she's
weakness.
singing it with so much passion and vigor. It's like, oh man, so good.
I'm surprised nobody sampled that bass line yet. Some rappers or something. It's just begging to be sampled. That.
Yeah, weakness. Maybe your weakness. Yeah. Well, for me, okay, night. Sorry.
Very good. This is where we enter now the completely subjective zone, which is now we're just picking our personal favorites, right? So this is a rando that I will say we have a little NJS Forever New York crew, and one of the New York crew picked this song, and I was really impressed or surprised, I should say, because I was like, this song is so random. But this song closes the absolute wonderful journey that is Ritual of Love, and that song is called Hard to Say Goodbye by Karyn White.
Wow.
I love that song, and the way it even ends, like no one to tell you, and a little why it's hard to say goodbye. Like it's just like it's so Jam and Lewis. It's just like I just love that track. So it absolutely is my number 8, and I just couldn't believe someone else picked it because there's so many tracks to choose from. So if anybody else likes that song, we're soulmates. I'm playing, but like I love that. I would love it if someone else picks that one. But anyways, that's my personal number 8.
Wow. Okay.
Great choice.
Surprising. Yes.
Very nice.
For my number 7, I went from Karyn's third album. And just remind you, she's come up with she's released another 3 or 4 albums since she left Warner Brothers,
right?
And she's coming up with a new single. So we'll stop doing some promotions in December. So she's done some new music with DOA Island on some of the production. So we get ready for that. However, at number 7, it is "Can I Stay With You." This was a song, was the reunion with Babyface, and I'm listening to it and I'm thinking, why didn't they come up with this? Even though Hungah was beautiful, but this would have got through the noise and would have been like, okay. And they would have pushed it heavily because you always put the money in your first single. That's where they put the video, that's where, through. Anyway, yeah. So that was, loved how she delivered it, and it was like how chemistry with Babyface had not disappeared, the way she delivered it. But yeah, so "Can I Stay With You" is at number 7 for me.
Nice, man. I'm gonna have to compliment we're gonna have to compliment everybody on every one of their track selections because they're all great songs. I mean, there's hardly any duds. I'm not saying there's some which I could skip, but 95% of these albums are brilliant. Number 7, is it?
Yeah.
My number 7 is from Karyn White's 1988 album, and out of all of these albums, I don't think there is a more iconic song. This song was all about female empowerment, and it was a song I listened to a lot back then. I feel like a jerk putting it at number 7 because it's such a significant song, but I just don't listen to it as much as I used to. I knew these words back to front. I listened to this to death. Although it would be odd if I'm singing those lyrics as a man, but fantastic. It's covered in no less than 9 songs, including a cover by Gladys Knight. It was sampled in at least 5 songs, including Full Force's "Don't Waste My Time" and Montel Jordan's "Denise." It is obviously Superwoman. Great song. Great song.
Yeah. It's an anthem, it's a classic, and yes, it's an amazing story because God, she was just 22 when she was singing that. It doesn't make. Yeah, but yeah, when you're a kid, you're watching it, and you know, you heard the whole story and everything. I wondered. It reminded me of My Mind in some ways because, somehow it just reminds me when I think of those two songs. All right.
I'm surprised. I'm kind of surprised you picked that. To be
really,
honest.
no, I had to. I loved that song back in the day.
I know it's massive, but do you know why? And I said this on a Karyn White podcast. This is what I think about that. I think it's a woman's anthem. Can you really see men sat in the bedrooms playing that record?
Yeah,
I'm not your Superwoman.
That's
Stevie,
right.
I'm gonna.
I'm just saying as a man, you know what I mean? I'm not your.
That's what I'm saying, dude. That's what I'm saying. If I was singing it, I'd feel a bit strange, man. If I was to sing that right now, I'd feel like a very.
But I've got a story that's even super quick story that's even more awkward. So, Vij, you'll know who I'm talking about. There's a friend of mine who I'll call Saul, Tall Saul. You know what I'm talking about. And they're not together anymore. But at the time, him and his wife were at a karaoke bar. I was there too. It was the last song of the night. She got super drunk. Do you know what song she decided to sing to him in front of the entire effing bar? Yes, she sang Superwoman. It was so awkward. She's like, you know, just pointing to him, tears streaming down her face, drunk as hell. And it was so awkward that even though that was supposed to be the last song, they're like, okay, Saul and Andrew, you want to do Poison again? So we had to end the night with another song so we could just close the bar. We went to a taco place afterwards. We made no mention of it. Like nothing happened. And then I said to Paul, you gonna be all right, man? He's like, yeah. Saul, you're gonna be all right, man. and it was. But anyway, so Superwoman is tainted because, I think the song can be weaponized. So anyway, it's a beautiful song.
I get it. But Stevie, you do understand how impactful that song is. It's massive. It's beyond massive.
It's a huge track. But I'm just saying, as a man, it's like there's certain songs that can I just put that song on, you know, and sit there.
I'm not looking at it from a gender perspective whatsoever. I'm just looking at it as a perfect song. That song.
Yeah, but is it something you play all the time? That's what I'm saying to you.
No, but that's why. In another years ago,
because it was a massive track.
No, years ago, no, not at all, Stevie. Years ago, it would have been maybe number 2 on my list or something like that. I listened to it a lot. What I'm saying is, I used to listen to it so much. I still listen to it, but a lot less. But that song, there was no way I was not putting Superwoman in my list. I had to put it in there. It has to be in there. I love
vocally, it's incredible. It's an incredible track vocally.
Yeah.
Song aside, I just think the vocally is just oof, you know.
Yeah.
And it is a strong woman's anthem because at the time you just didn't hear women singing songs like that, you know, on the radio and the subjects of it, I think. But I'm sure we'll get back to this song. We'll get back to that song. I'm sure somebody else is going to pick that record. Anyway, number 8, staying with Karyn White, and look at this picture, guys. How hot does she look in this picture? I'd have loved a poster of that at the time as well to put on the wall when I was a teenager. But the track they've gone for, and I think this is, you know, Jam and Lewis production wise made many masterpieces. I think this is very much because it weren't released as a single. I think this is an absolute soulful Jam and Lewis masterpiece, and I even took out another track from a third album to include. I had to include this one because it's so good. And Knight, you're on the money with what you said just previously. Hard to Say Goodbye.
Yes.
7. My gosh, it's an absolute masterpiece.
Yes.
Jesus, what a track that is.
Yes.
It's just too good.
That.
It's just
we're soulmates. We're soulmates. I just said if you pick that song, you're my soulmate. No, I love it. 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 All right. So my number 7.
The track, you know, everything about it. Oh.
My bad. My number 7 is a return for Pebbles. She was locked out of 8, 9, and 10. But this is a very kind of sweet track, and it kicks off the ballads on her second album, and that song is called "Why Do I Believe." I don't know. There's just something about it. It's just so tender and sweet and relaxing. I think it's hard to be stressed with that song playing. So, why do I believe that I belong to you? I will sing later on in the show, but not for that song. But that's my number 7. If anyone else likes it, let me know.
Nice.
Uh-oh. Are you there, Namdi? I think you're
got something
mute.
to say. I mean, he's cooking something up here. I got a feeling he's cooking something up.
I was saying the Disney song.
It is Disney song. It's all good. Oh, totally. It is. Totally.
Disney song.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. My number 6. Oh man, I wish I could push this higher. I think Stevie also mentioned it already. Do is how I want you.
Oh.
I'm like, well, this is. I'm listening to this album. I'm thinking, Karyn, I don't think you need a jam with LA and Babyface for this album. There was some jams. I mean, sure they. And I think what I recognize is that Babyface is good to when it comes to those catchy songs and like, oh, puts it in there. But the timeless tracks that she made with Jam and Lewis, they don't seem dated, and they feel a lot more. There's a lot more meat in it and stuff like that. And you know, because I recognize when I was listening to a number of tracks with Pebbles. Oh, what track was that? I think it was giving it. It was almost like they remixed Off on Our Own. It was almost like, so there's a lot of what Jam and Lewis, LA and Babyface would do, where they'll take elements in this song and match them together, so they'll keep you almost the blueprint. But with Jam and Lewis, sometimes it is almost like, yeah, we're gonna start and build everything from scratch, and it is such a vibe. It was like a jazzy, it was like a bluesy, it was central and everything. Yeah, number 6 from How I Love.
Well, I'm surprised you had to pick that. Happily surprised, but really surprised.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Feed.
Number 6 is a Pebbles track from 1987, produced by Charlie Wilson again, sampled in at least songs. This is also automotively related. It is.
So we've all picked it then.
It's Mercedes Boy, fantastic song, love it. I will say, I mentioned the Mannequin song earlier, and I'd say that the Mannequin version edges this. I Want to Ride. It's Kenny Lattimore singing at that age. I can't explain how it's insane. But Mercedes, but we're here to talk about Pebbles, and Pebbles did a fantastic job on this. And hearing Charlie Wilson doing the little bits in between is just, oh my God. And the remixes, don't get me started. Different planet. Mercedes Boy, very, very worthy number 6.
Nice.
So you've picked it, I picked it, Knight's picked it. So the fact that 3 of us have picked that, I think that could be high up in the master list. We'll see then. We'll see.
We shall see. We shall see.
Yeah. Anyway, number 6, and it's my 1, 2. Right, number 6. This is my 3rd entry for Pebbles, and you've already mentioned it, VJ, but it's quite high up for me. I've gone with "Do Me Right" from Pebbles.
Oh,
both the album mix and the remix. I play them to death, mate. Absolutely play them to death. You know. Was there a video to that?
Not sure.
Was there a video to "Do Me Right"?
I don't think so. Not sure. Not, yeah.
We can all hear you playing a song there, Namdi. I don't want you playing away there.
No. No, it can't be me.
Yeah.
It wasn't
We
me.
did. It was good. It was good. Whatever it was great, man. Lovely song.
So what was happening?
LOL.
It was a switch. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Do Me Right is brilliant choice, Stevie. And as I was saying earlier, the remix, the version with Babyface is just, I mean, it's so good. Charlie Wilson and Babyface on the same track, and Charlie Wilson production and an LA and Babyface remix. I mean, that's like a dream collabo, isn't it? That's like the dream single, isn't it? Do Me Right was absolutely it. Now that you've said it, I wish I'd put it higher in my list. It's so good. So
at least it's in there. At least it's in. I think there'll only be me and you pick that track though, but we shall see. We shall see.
Yeah, we shall see.
The 90s, Mr. Right.
All right. This is another Pebbles track. And as you'll see, there's a pattern here. This comes from Yet. It's another track from her second album, Always. And speaking of Babyface, Matt gives it away. He's totally featured on this track. I remember seeing the video and thinking to myself, wow, this song makes like infidelity seem so like sweet. But anyway, no, play it mostly. But the song is called Love Makes Things Happen. And I think that lyrically, oh no, he does say you could be a married man with 2 good kids or a good woman, whatever, but it'll keep you into a spell. It'll spin your mind around like a carousel. Oh, anyway, Love Makes Things Happen is it's a beautiful song, even though it's kind of subject matter wise a little bit iffy. Number 6, Pebbles.
You talk about subject matter. I just listened to Kelly Price remake of As We Lay.
Oh God.
I'm listening to it thinking, why are you taking to church with infidelity? It's so.
Yes.
So I don't think Babyface was as bad as that, So
Yes.
yeah. Okay. Number 5 for me. Oh goodness. I think this is from Karyn's Make Him Do Right album, and it's the final song from that album to feature on my list. But it was such a powerful track that I was like, man. The first time I heard it, it just caught my attention. I'd rather be alone. And it is that sense of, if this is what you're me up to, I'd just rather be by myself. Video was like I Miss You, where it was about, the domestic abuse and stuff. But I listening to it without seeing the video and just thinking about, look, I'd rather be on my own than to be in a relationship that just gives me heartache. Beautifully sung, beautifully delivered, and as high up as number 5 from that album. So yes, that is not my number 5.
My number 5 is from Pebbles' Always album from 1990. It's sampled in at least 4 songs. It's an LA and Babyface track. It is brilliant. It is a big club banger. I listen to this a lot. I don't know if you can see that. It's Giving You the Benefit all day long, every day. What a tune. I mean, the original, the edit, the instrumental, the extended version, the remix, any version of that song, I'm good. It is great. Giving You the Benefit, that's my number 5.
The Shep Pettibone mix.
Exactly.
Solid.
My number 5 is my 5th entry from Karyn White. So I've only got one more card to play, and I've gone to the first album, and I've gone for a track that it rips me guts out when I listen to this. It's got a guitar. Let me just say the guitar, because it is a really important part of the track. The guitar at the beginning of it, from Donald Griffin, is the guitar play. It's produced by Steve Harvey, and it's the mid-tempo-y, slow jammy track, Slow Down. Oh my god.
Slow down.
Oh my gosh, he killed me that
Yeah.
track. Absolutely killed me.
Good one.
I don't know how many people thought it was the comedian who did the production on that, but
Yeah.
Definite another
Yeah, okay.
quiet storm burner that you can play late night at radio.
Mhm.
The guitar, the guitar. Oh, jeez, killer track, killer. Number 5 though, and I've only got one Karyn White track to pick now, so we'll
Wow,
see.
so Pebbles is high up on your. Okay.
Wow.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That is
Wow,
interesting.
yeah.
Alright.
Go ahead, Knight.
Bye bye, cloudy day. Sunshine's here to stay. Tell the world the way I feel about you. Happy days are near whenever you're near. This is clear. The way I feel about day after day. Like, yo, that song, even the way it starts off, it reminds me of Janet Jackson's All Right.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like if those songs were like humans, like they're like sisters or cousins, like they are related to each other. And I actually could totally see a world where Janet Jackson did The Way I Feel About You and made Rhythm Nation. It has such an optimistic, sunny feel. So yeah, Stevie, when you picked it, I was shutting the hell up. I was like, yo, I want to say yes, we have it on there, and I do. Now I'm watching the video now. And I remember not liking it because I thought of her in the maid outfit. I'm like, man, like, nothing against you, but like, Karyn, you're like, no, dude, don't be the side character in the video with those randos. You should be the star. So I just remember that being like, this song should have been bigger than it was. But anyway, I love that song, and it's just, oh, it's so sunny. So yeah, The Way I Feel About You. Karyn White.
Wow,
Love that, man. Love it. I love that it's there, man. It had to be, right? It had to be.
Yes.
Yeah. As I said, this was me thinking, and I wonder because when I spoke with Karyn and she talked about working with Jam and Lewis, they were like, "Man, we shouldn't be doing this album. That you should be doing with LA and Babyface because they know how to catch you." And listening to it again, I'm thinking, no, it's brought a different side, brought a different energy, and took her to another level, gave her a biggest single to date as well. But number 4 to me, going back to Pebbles of her Straight from My Heart album, and the falsetto on this track is just breathless, and the production, and I'm like, I didn't hear this at the time, but it's the title track of the album, produced by Carl West, Straight from My Heart. When she just, it's a vibe. The whole album is a vibe. It's the whole album is where you just play it, and the whole club, is it Club Pebbles, like club song where it starts and when it ends, just tells you this is what the album is. And as I said, anyone just search Pebbles Straight from My Heart on YouTube or Spotify, whatever it is, and listen to it and tell me if it isn't a vibe. And the way she just delivers in that falsetto voice. And that's when I thought, oh yeah, butterflies and stuff. Amazing. Because I think she sounded, but back, yeah. I think Pebbles sound her vocals were her best on her third album. I think vocally she was like, let me strip back the music, because in the music that really told the tale. But this album's like she vocally on her points. So yeah, this was into my top 2, this track, but I a few others crept in. So
That's
yeah,
a great choice, man. That's a great choice. I love that you put that song there, man. It's a great choice. Really love it.
How many tracks have you picked from that album? So
A lot.
I picked. Let me see. I picked 3
so far, I mean, because we obviously don't want to give the whole
3.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man.
So from that album, yeah, I picked 3.
It's a very sophisticated album, man. Very sophisticated.
Yeah, it's a great album.
Yeah, please.
My number 4 is off Karyn White's 1988 album, sampled in 5 songs. including the Brat's We Ready and the incredible Devin Morrison's Samora Hills from a couple of years back, I think it was. This is produced by LA and Babyface. It is a duet. It is Love Saw It, and it is stunning.
Yeah.
Love Saw It is perfect. This is peak LA and Babyface. Love Saw It. The way the song just starts, it glides, it just, it's magic. Love Saw It.
A very sophisticated track.
Fantastic production. I just love how everything about this song. Wow. I want to listen to it now. It's great. Love Saw It. That's my number 4.
I'd love to see
how many tracks have you picked from a debut so far? Is that 3? Have you picked 3 from the debut?
I have picked 3 from the debut, yes.
Wow.
And that's the opposite from the debut.
Wow. Number 4 for me is a Pebbles track, and it's straight from the Heart album. Karyn White did, as I mentioned before, did a track called Slow Down. Mary J. Blige on her debut album did a track called Slow Down. And this song is all about making a guy wait. If you just wait, if you slow down, it's all gonna come to you. And I like that. I like when a woman, it's that suggestiveness that a woman puts out there to you. That turns me on, that. So, but this track in particular is produced by Chucky Thompson, and I'm stunned VJ's not. He could have picked. He said he's not. He's
it would have been. Yeah. Oh my God. I love that you put it in your list. This is a brilliant.
The beat in this,
incredible,
and the bass line. Oh my gosh, the beat, and then the song is just. I just think it's a gem. I thought no one's. Maybe you might have picked this, VJ, but it's probably only me that's going to pick this track. But again, I still play it to this day. I play it over and over. I love it. It's brilliant. It still sounds great now. Stood the test of time, I think. Good minter, the beat and the bass. Great soulful R&B track. Pebbles You.
Yeah.
So from Chuck, another Thompson masterpiece, I think.
Yeah. It made my top 10. If we did top 10, it made number 10 for me on Pebbles. Number actually. Yeah.
And the thing about that song, it's a proper bad boy song, isn't it? It's like a proper.
Yeah.
It feels like a proper bad boy production. Yeah, I love it. Very nice.
I'm surprised you didn't pick it, I'll be honest with you. Very surprised.
There's too many songs. There's like 75, 80 songs here. I mean, how are you going to do it, man? It's too difficult.
I just think, for me, if I've got that track per woman there, I know which I'm playing more. Just the way, it's just me.
Andrew.
All right. So this track at number 4 is a Pebbles track. It's from her second album. And I'm looking at the production. It looks like it was Daryl Simmons and KO. And it's a ballad. It's very just kind of quaint and cute and chill. And it's a song called Stay With Me Forever.
Very nice.
I will never let you down. Oh, baby. Yeah.
Waited so long.
And I love that song. And at one point, I thought it was going to be a top 3, but it just made the top 4. So yeah, I've always loved it. I don't know anyone in my life. I've never talked about that song to anyone in my life until this episode ever. So this is a special moment for me. But I've loved it since I think the first time I heard it was like 93 or something like that. Anyway, love it. And thank you for listening. Stay with me forever. Go.
Great choice, man.
Yes. Okay. Number 3 for me, top 3. So number 3 for me is, I think this was probably the energy that this woman brings to her performance today. So you check her, if you check her IG or Facebook or YouTube channel, you'd see that she's performing across America, lots of city wineries and places. And if you see her on stage today, it is almost like it was back in the day. you know, before Beyonce was doing her stuff when Single Woman, or Karyn White was doing this back in on, you know, on the Apollo and Arsenio Hall, when it was opening. She was well alongside on the Bobby tour, and I think of her up tempos, this is probably my favorite, and it's Secret Rendezvous.
Nice.
And I say, guys, go and search Secret Rendezvous, Apollo version, or maybe the Arsenio Hall version. I think maybe Arsenio Hall version. Both of them are electric. Just watching how she's just dancing and the energy, and you know, just I remember just seeing her as a kid. When I was young, in secondary school, and just watching, just seeing her, and you know, the smile, the energy, and everything. And the rumor back then was that she was they wrote "Don't Be Cruel" for Karyn, but they said, oh, there were too many raps, so they opted to give it to Bobby. But you know, both Daryl Simmons and because Karyn did do her little rap in Secret Rendezvous, but she's just dancing, doing her thing, man, and it's so Secret Rendezvous #3 for me.
Yes.
Very nice choice, man.
New track.
Cute, man.
Yes.
My #3 is my one and only inclusion from Ritual of Love by Karyn White in 1991, produced by Christopher Troy and Zach Harmon, sampled in at least 4 songs. Andrew, you've mentioned this a little while ago. This song is so good. The Way I Feel About You. It's so happy and nice, and it's just so uplifting. You're in a bad day. You listen to this song, and you're like, I feel okay. It's all right.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's how I feel about
It's
it.
brilliant.
Yeah.
It's magic. It's an uplifting song, and it lifts up your day every time you listen to it.
I didn't think you'd pick that. I'm happily surprised. I really didn't think you'd pick that record, but
I think
so
it's
high as well.
It's a brilliant song, and I think there's additional production by Jam and Lewis, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe I'm mistaken there. I'm not sure, but Christopher Troy and Zach Harmon for sure. And Stevie, you mentioned their new Jack Swing productions that they did were just next level. They were like some great stuff with the Mac Band and other people. Did they do some stuff with the Mac Band and other people? I think pretty sure they did.
They did a girl group called Times Free they did a track called Typical Relationship. Didn't they do something on the Today album? Oh, I'm getting mixed up with the characters. Sorry.
Characters.
Rhonda Clark did some good stuff on very similar sounding tracks on Rhonda Clark's second album to this Ritual of Love. Go back to that album as well.
There was a State of Attraction.
I don't think that was them actually.
Is that time?
It's the one. It's the album after.
Okay.
Album after the second album.
Yep, #3, The Way I Feel About You, brilliant song. Yep, #3.
Wow.
Okay.
Stunning pick.
Go ahead, Steve.
My #3 is my final pick for Karyn White. So she made it.
Wow.
As high as #3. I would argue, controversially, this is her signature track. Like, say, Bobby Brown's Don't Be Cruel is. This is the first track I ever heard from Karyn White, and it's etched in my brain ever since. I think you touched upon it, Namdi. The dance moves, I thought the vocal again, the way she sang the track, the rap, the way she looked in it, the video. This to me is Karyn's signature track. It's a killer. It's next to Bobby Brown's Don't Be Cruel. It's Secret Rendezvous was at #3 for me.
Very
it's
nice.
my all-time favorite track from Karyn. I just, the way she attacks it vocally, brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Fantastic.
I gotta say, so back then,
monster dance track.
I was gonna say, like, when I heard of like LA and Face and Bobby and Karyn, like back in like '89, I was like, man, they are the coolest humans on the planet right now. and there's this sound effect, and I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but it sounds like a clap, right? So you first hear it in Don't Be Cruel, you then hear it in, I think, in Every Little Step, and you hear it in Secret Rendezvous. It kind of goes like, kind of like that, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
And so the fact that Secret Rendezvous has that, I'm like, I just loved that. They were just so slick. Anyway, and I just in my own.
The Boys, you listen to some of the Boys production, some of the mixes they did on the Boys.
Yes,
Crazy
there
album,
too.
has it on that. Probably in the Mac Band as well.
Yes.
Sure, it's in the Mac Band.
Yeah,
some of their tracks.
I'm glad you know what I'm talking about. But anyways, Secret Rendezvous unfortunately didn't make my list, but trust me when I say I think very highly of that song. But also in a mirror of what Stevie did, this is the last appearance by Miss Pebbles. And this track here was produced by, Pebbles and a guy named Danny Sembello. And I gotta say, Danny Sembello is a name that I didn't realize is behind a lot of hits, like more hits than I even realized. So if you guys don't know who Danny Sembello is, just check him out. But things like Stir It Up and Neutron Dance and, I think some New Edition stuff, he's been around. He did a lot of like R&B stuff. But anyway, this song is the title track to Pebbles' second album and has Johnny Gill singing "You Are My Girl." Anyways, I can't do Bonnie. But the song is called Always, and I actually thought Always was a contender for #1, but no. I searched my feelings, Luke, and decided that nope, Karyn White has 2 bangers ahead of Always. So what will they be? Only one way to find out. Stay tuned. But Always is rounding out my favorite Pebbles song of all time.
Wow, great pick.
Very nice. And I was just going to say, somebody's just pointed out that certain tracks were not included. Now, the rules for this particular podcast are very clear. They have to be on the album. Facts of Love is an incredible song. I'm sure all 4 of us would include it if it was on one of these Karyn White albums. And I would have liked to include this song, which is Not Through Being With You. Michael Jeffries and Karyn White track, produced by Jelly Bean Johnson. I would love to have included that, but that's not on the list. So unfortunately, we can't include everything if it's not on these albums. The rules are the rules. Do you know what I mean? So
at least we mentioned it, though. At least we mentioned it.
Those fantastic.
The work she did with Jeff Lorber was, and it carried on. It did carry on into a debut album. The work she did, because there was a few B-sides that were released, obviously on the B-sides of the first single albums that she did with Jeff Lorber as well. That could have been included on the album, just to fill it out a bit more, but they didn't. So
you mentioned those unreleased B-sides. That's a fascinating conversation. That is another, that definitely some gems there, man.
But if you want the whole package, there was a double CD reissue a couple of years ago of the first album that had all the remixes on and had them B-side tracks as well. It's a great package, CD package.
Very good compilation.
Yeah.
Okay. This song was a contender for #1, and but #1 just edged it slightly, and it's and sometimes when a song has amazing chorus, when it has the background singers on it, and I think that's what sort of got elevated a lot in the 90s, the background vocals had the singing, like Every Little Thing You Do, the song of almost singing back, that disappeared completely from modern day R&B now. Is where the same person sings throughout, and you miss that collaboration. But this song, I think the chorus actually is probably my favorite part, but her delivery throughout, and at first I had to stop to listen to see, wait, is she talking to somebody in this, or is it just her? And of course it was Pebbles singing with Sherelle saying, and Sherelle answering back, and you have Johnny comes through. Always. Please, if you guys have not listened to Always by Pebble, it is such an amazing track. The chorus, the backing singing, so Sherelle and Johnny Gill giving the backing singers, and Johnny comes in And I'm thinking about what Johnny does here is what Tammy Lucas was supposed to do in Goodbye Love. She was supposed to be more pronounced in that, and they lowered her vocals. But to see how they're singing on this song, oh man, it was almost going to be number one, but there was just another song that topped it. But I just said Pebbles, man, you took it to school in this one. Okay, so she says that Sherelle and Pebbles are blood cousins. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, they're cousins.
Together.
They're cousins. But I did wonder why, because the link is Sherelle and Jimmy and Terry,
right?
But just the whole dynamics and the whole family dynamics there. Oh goodness, that's my jam there. During the pandemic, okay, Hopeful says she discovered it during the pandemic. Was on repeat. Just amazing song. Yeah,
it is a great song, man. Great choice, man, from you and Andrew, man. You guys have really rated that song, and I understand why. And I think, was it Derek? I think Derek might have been mentioning. I didn't realize this, but now that you've said it, I'm just hearing that. I think he said "Feel So Much Better" by Johnny Gill features Karyn White and Pebbles on backing, which
love it.
I love that song so much already. It's making me feel a particular way about both Karyn White and Pebbles and Johnny Gill right now. That's just like an overload. It's too much information, I think.
CV.
Is it me?
No, I think it's.
Oh, sorry, VJ. Sorry.
Yeah. My number 2 is an LA and Babyface track, and this surprised me actually. I was convinced that Karyn White would hold my number 1 spot, but this is my last submission by Karyn White. It's at number 2. It's sampled in at least 2 songs, and it is, of course, the incredibly infectious Secret Rendezvous. What a song! What a song, man! This song is just like fantastic. The production is just stunning. Everything, just the way it all comes together, it just energizes you. You're going on a night out and you want to listen to a song to get you in the mood to go out. This is that song. Secret Rendezvous is it. Lovely.
Damn.
Number 2.
Number 2. I love it.
Okay. Wow. Steve.
Number 2, obviously it's a Pebbles track. I'm going to, before I mention this track though, because it does relate to what I'm about to say, I think I can pinpoint now 3 Pebbles tracks that I think were kind of production wise very ahead of the time. The first one was from '86 that did end up on a debut album, but it was on a soundtrack first, and it was produced by Andre Simone. And I feel so bad that I've not included Love Hate. You listen to the production in that, the drum, and what they're doing technically in that, just so ahead of its time. The second one was obviously Girlfriend. If you listen to for '87, the way LA. There was nothing that sounded like that in '87. It was just like, I think that's probably why I just didn't get it. I just really didn't get it till later on. But I pinpoint that, and on a pinpoint this track. This is where Ellie and Babyface looked at what was going on in terms of what Teddy was doing, in terms of what the sound Dallas Austin brought out. And I think they changed the sound. They definitely changed their New Jack sound. Because if you compare the New Jack sound of, say, well, it's not a new. You could say compare the sound they did on Girlfriend to the sound on Giving You the Benefit of the Doubt. Totally different production sounds, but Giving You the Benefit of the Doubt I just think that is a killer. Especially the club.
Wow,
Killer New Jack.
Yeah, man,
it's a
brilliant.
Classic, heavy, hard, grooved New Jack. The beats, they changed it up completely. Again, I think ahead of the time. Totally ahead of the time to move along with what was going on. But Pebbles giving you monster. At first it was my number 1, but I've kind of pushed it back to number 2. But there's a reason for that anyway.
Nice, man. I'm glad it's so high on your list, man. What a song.
Think about them 3 tracks and the actual sound of the production. All 3 very different, but all very ahead of the time. I thought really pushing the boundaries. You just don't get that now. You don't get it. With artists and producers. They're still on the trap beats, still on them same old tinkly little, Oh well.
Okay, Andrew.
All right. Before I say my number two, I think one of my favorite things about doing these shows is I always come away with newfound respect for certain tracks. And I think that I now have newfound respect for Give Me the Benefit, and I have newfound respect for Secret Rendezvous. I obviously like them both, but now I'm going to give them another listen and go, you know what? Huh. And peep out those remixes. Now, for the Jeff Lorber fans who have been making themselves known in the comment section, I remember the first time I learned of his name was when he did, I'm pretty sure he did the remix to Can't You Stand the Rain, like the extended one. So when I had a New Jack Swing radio show back in 99 at UC Santa Barbara in California, I was going through all these albums, and one of these tracks, which is now my number two from Karyn White, was produced by Jeff Lorber, and it's a ballad, and it's just another sweet ballad, but it's a song called Tell Me Tomorrow. And I just like this song because it's like, man, that's a very vulnerable place to be. Not only the sound of the song, but just like, wow, I know you're gonna diss me, but can we just like smash one more time, and then and then you can like break up with me? I think that's basically what the song is saying. But damn, dude, it's almost like I can't make you love me if you don't. Like it's that kind of mournfulness, but it's just that tell me tomorrow, and just the music, it sparkles. So anyway, that's that. I think the sparkles thing was a little too much. I'm gonna throw that back in. but anyway, tell me tomorrow, man. That's number two. I think she sang her
brilliant choice.
Fantastic song, man.
I wouldn't even thought you did pick that, but wow, brilliant.
Okay,
great song. It's a fantastic song. That.
So now, guys, so we before we give our number one, we tend to just go through our list, and probably also put in some honorable mentions. So some of my honorable mentions was Mercedes Boys, Say a Prayer for Me, because it was sort of it featured Karyn White, Babyface, and Johnny Gill in the track, and I had You, and I had Love Makes Things Happen with Babyface. Family Man, I really did like the song. I know some people thought it was a strange one. That's Karyn White. And then I also had The Way I Feel About You, the way You Love Me, and 1 Minute from her rituals. Loved 1 Minute, and Do Unto Me, another good track. So from number 12 is One More Try. That is Pebbles. And that was from her Straight from the Heart album. Love That's Mine, Karyn White. And number 10 was Giving You the Benefits, Pebbles. Number 9 was Show Me, Pebbles. 8 was Girlfriend, Pebbles. Number 7 was Can I Stay With You, Karyn White. Number 6 was How I Want You, Karyn White. Number 5 was I'd Rather Be Alone, Karyn White. Number 4 was Straight to the Heart by Pebbles. Number 3 was Secret Rendezvous by Karyn White. Number 2 is Always by Pebbles. And number 1, I think vocally, this is what. I mean, vocally they're both beautiful and stuff, but the little extras that Karyn does in this track. So it's a Karyn White song, and it is a song that I'm sure Nita Baker wishes she was on, and it's Love Sword featuring Babyface.
Nice.
The way they just do vocal gymnastics on this track is just something. I just love it. It's just when she does, I'm like, oh goodness. I'm like, okay, so when somebody just is playing now, okay, now you stop it, you're playing. That is my number 1, Love Sword. I mean, kush.
Brilliant.
Yeah. And
what were your 6 Karyn White choices?
6 Karyn White choices was Love Sword, Secret Rendezvous, I'd Rather Be Alone, How I Want You, and Can I Stay With You. Those are my 6.
Interesting. You didn't pick Superwoman. That's very interesting.
It was. It made number 13 on my list. If I had it, if we went up to top 20,
man.
yeah,
So close.
it was in there. But yeah, so and then and Love That's Mine, yeah. So that was number 6. So those
See, if this
were
was 4 ladies doing this podcast, I wonder where that I wonder if
no, I
wonder
don't
where they
I
picked
don't
that
no,
from.
I don't think
As a women's anthem.
no,
Just,
I don't
just
think
out of interest.
no, I
Just
don't
a bit
think
of controversy. Get a bit of controversy here going on.
yeah, I don't think it would have been picked as a woman's anthem. I just think it would have just been picked because it was a story, that Babyface wrote it, so it's not a woman's. He wrote it, and from a perspective of So I mean, I think it's just because it's been such a song that I've heard for so many years, and then when you hear something that you haven't heard so recently,
I get that. I do
yeah.
get that.
And
All
I think
right.
it was Surubania 797 that said that Love Saw It borrowed heavily from Liberian Girl, and I kind of see what you're saying, man. Like I kind of see.
I do too.
That's a fair point. Yeah.
You picked a great track though there, Namdi.
Fantastic song, man.
So, yeah.
It makes sense.
Even
Yes.
Marco has come out and said one of the best duets in the 80s.
Well, if Marco says it, then
Yeah, exactly. If he says it, Jesus.
Yeah. So songs that I have omitted that I would have wanted to have in this list is every other song that I didn't put in from Karyn White's first album. Every other song off that album should have been in my list. Every single one. They are so good. Karyn White's first album it's so close to flawless. I think if I was to compare it with other LA and Babyface projects with Jam and Lewis and that era, I'd say it's a notch below Johnny Gill's 1990 album, the Motown debut, but it's so close. Other songs that I wish I'd put in my list would be Happy. I think it's a stunner from Organized Noise and Pebbles. So good. I would have liked to put You in there with Chucky Thompson and Puff Daddy and Pebbles production. Straight from the Heart, Carl West track that Namdi, you pointed out earlier. Fantastic song. I think Weakness might have made my list. It was that or Hungah. But the song that I miss, that I am gutted that I couldn't put in this list, is Take Your Time by Pebbles. It is so good. And that song, it just grows. Every time I listen to it, I like it more and more and more and more. And the fact that it's not in my list, it feels so wrong. So my apologies to you, Pebbles, for not including it. Should have been. My number 12 was Two Hearts by Pebbles. Number 11 was Are You Ready by Pebbles. Number 10, Pebbles Do Me Right. Number 9, Make Him Do Right by Karyn White. Hungah by Karyn White. Number 8, Karyn White, The Way You Love Me. Number 7, Karyn White, Superwoman. Number 6, Pebbles, Mercedes Boy. Number 5 was Pebbles, Giving You the Benefit. Number 4 was Karyn White, Love Saw It with Babyface. Such a good song. I think it should have been higher up my list now that I'm thinking about it. So good. Number 3, Karyn White, The Way I Feel About You. Number 2, Karyn White, Secret Rendezvous. And my number 1 is an LA and Babyface production. It's off Pebbles' first album. It's sampled in at least 5 tracks, including the Pebble mix of Mirage, the Jack mix in full effect. This song is an absolute anthem. It means a lot to me because I heard this a lot. My 2 of my dad's brothers, they had a DJ system, and every single night that they had a party, they'd play this. It is Pebbles' Girlfriend, and it's a stunner. I love this song so much from the beginning to the end. It reminds me of like music reminds us of something that happened. It transports us to a different moment in time. Pebbles' Girlfriend transports me to being on the dance floor as the little annoying little nephew with my cool uncles with their whatever they were doing and their DJ setup, and listening to Pebbles' Girlfriend and thinking I'm the baddest dancer on the planet. That's what it reminds me of. Pebbles' Girlfriend, number 1.
Wow. High praise.
Tune, man, big tune.
Yeah.
It's so good. I love it.
I love it. Yeah, our lists are different. I love this. I knew it was gonna happen. Okay.
Well, I didn't pick Girlfriend. Did you pick Girlfriend, Namdi?
Yeah, it was number 8.
So it's had 2
Didn't make my list.
picks so far. Anyway, we'll get to my top 12. Honorable mentions. Just a couple of tracks from this that I didn't pick. Romantic. Just again, I used to play so much. And also the Michael J. Powell, as a producer and a songwriter, wrote Tears of Joy. That's a great track on this. And he did stuff with Anita Baker as well. But Michael, what a talent Michael J. Powell is, and got to work. And I didn't include Pebbles' Two Hearts. Just absolutely love that record. But number 12, Pebbles, Are You Ready? The Mario mix. Number 11, Karyn White, How I Want You. Number 10, Karyn White, The Way I Feel About You. Number 9, Pebbles, Mercedes Boy. Number 8, Karyn White, Weakness. Number 7, Karyn White, Hard to Say Goodbye. Number 6, Pebbles, Do Me Right. Number 5, Karyn White, Slow Down. Number 4, Pebbles, You. Number 3, Karyn White, Secret Rendezvous. Number 2, Pebbles, Giving You the Benefit of the Doubt, the extended club mix. And this is a really hardcore pick for my number 1. Gosh, if I ever, and this is a big if I ever get married, I've shown you
that Nigerian girl. I've shown you that Nigerian girl.
Well, that's a huge if. This would get played at it. This would be my wedding just because of the lyrics. It's just got a deep, sophisticated, soulful groove to this. It rips me guts out every time I play it. I still play it now. I still want to just, after the pot, just rush away and get my headphones on and listen to it. It's a Pebbles track.
Wow.
And it goes, I've waited so long. And the chorus
Yes!
is, stay with me forever.
Yes!
Oh my gosh.
We are
Oh
soulmates.
my God. It's a killer. It's an my
God.
I couldn't put that anywhere else but number 1. It just destroyed that record. Wipes me out. Absolutely wipes me out. Pebbles, if you're listening, that track is just, my gosh.
It's a great one, man.
I love the way she sings it. I love the way she sings that record. I waited. She opens her mouth because I waited so long. Oh my gosh. Stay with me forever. That's what you want when you get married, isn't it? You hope the person will stay with you forever.
Oh my God.
So there you go.
Let you down. Like the run she does towards the end. My God, yo. High praise.
I'm so happy you picked it as well, Knight, because I thought there's probably only me who's going to pick this track.
I love that, man. I'm pretty sure Lando said he sang that from his dorm room.
It is everything. It is. That's the way it makes me feel.
That's awesome. I love everything. That. Or maybe it was, yeah. All right. So, yeah, man. Okay. So, my honorable mentions are the following. From Pebbles, it's Give It To Me. Give It To Me. Angel by Pebbles, actually, from her third album. And then I Can't Help It. That floored me. I was like, I did not expect a Michael Jackson cover to be on that album. And I think that just needs to be mentioned. Now, for Karyn White, absolutely love That's Mine. That was like playing in my head the whole time. That should have been a single. The Way You Love Me. I love that song, and I just can't believe it didn't make my list. But that is absolutely one of my favorite Karyn White songs. But I think I actually played it out. I played it too much, and I just got sick of it. Tears of Joy. A couple people mentioned it in the comments. I love that song from the second album. And then, of course, Slow Down by Karyn White as well for honorable mentions. Now getting to my list. So my top 12 were Soul Replacement by Pebbles, Mercedes Boy by Pebbles. Oh my God. At number 11. Number 10, Love Saw It, Karyn White. Number 9, Romantic, Karyn White. Number 8, Hard to Say Goodbye, Karyn White. Number 7, Why Do I Believe, Pebbles. Number 6, Love Makes Things Happen, Pebbles. Number 5, The Way I Feel About You, Karyn White. Number 4, Stay With Me, Pebbles. Number 3, Always, Pebbles. Number 2, Tell Me Tomorrow.
Tell me tomorrow.
By Karyn White. And number 1, no one has mentioned this song, not in the comments, not on the podcast. And I'm slightly relieved that Karyn's not going to hear me butcher her song, but I have to sing this Karyn White song because to me it's pure, unadulterated, straight ahead Jammin' Lewis. Okay, here we go. Get one shot. Okay. My one heart does speak for you, but love that's... I already messed it up. Damn it. The kind of love that's one-on-one, the kind that you'll always dream of. My one heart does beat for you. The love I feel is really true. The kind of love that's one-on-one, the kind that you'll always dream of. In my head, it was so much better than that. But anyway, One Heart by Karyn White on the second album is like my favorite Karyn White song of all time. And I want to do I Do Love You, baby, I do love.
Can you imagine Ralph doing that?
Kind of love that's one-on-one, the kind that you'll always dream of. I love that song. So One Heart.
Wow. That is a hardcore pick. That is a true hardcore pick.
Yeah, I see it here. So it was the hardest, as I said. Maybe we didn't. In one case, I was going to say we didn't think it through. We should have just done one artist and their catalogs, or we just done one of the albums. But in a way, it was befitting to be able to bring these two queens together and to celebrate their music, because everyone that's been able to watch and join us can go back and rediscover their catalog and celebrate the uniqueness. They were very different, but they were brought together by the fact that they worked with some of the same producers, but they're all part of the family. Jam Lewis, Babyface, and L.A. Reid were all, they all work, everyone was all one and stuff. And it was just a time of great music. And as I said, the fact that Karyn featured on Say a Prayer for Me, there's ad-libbing and everything. So there was no rivalry, but it was such an amazing episode to be able to do it. And we want to thank Karyn for joining us at the beginning and really pushing this episode out there as well. We wanted to also rank the 6 albums from number 6.
Can we get to the master list? Let VJ do that master list first. Dying to know.
Sure. What was I going to say? Shout outs to Claude, Brandon, Mandeep, Renge, Chris Marr, Bashir, everybody else that submitted the lists. There are some interesting selections on here. I'm only going to go from 25 down. There's too many songs. Sorry. So 25 was Pebbles, Say a Prayer for Me. So just so you understand the master list, everybody submits their lists, and it's an overall list based on everybody's submissions. So 25, Pebbles, Say a Prayer for Me. 24, Pebbles, Love Makes Things Happen. 23, Pebbles, Give It to Me. 22, Pebbles, You. 21, Pebbles, Take Your Time. Thank you to everybody else that's put that in. I feel so bad that it wasn't in my list. 20, Pebbles, Do Me Right. Number 19, Pebbles, Are You Ready? Number 18, Pebbles, Always. Number 17, Karyn White, Walking the Dog. Number 16, Karyn White, Tell Me Tomorrow. Number 15, Karyn White, One Heart. Number 14, Karyn White, Superwoman. Number 13, Karyn White, Romantic. Number 12, Karyn White, Hungah. Number 11, Karyn White, Hard to Say Goodbye. Number 10, Karyn White, Slow Down. Number 9, Karyn White, Love Saw It. Number 8, Karyn White, The Way You Love Me. Number 7, Karyn White, Don't Mess With Me. Number 6, Pebbles, Stay With Me.
Wow.
Number 5, Pebbles, Mercedes Boy. Number 4, Pebbles, Giving You the Benefit.
Wow.
Number 3, Karyn White, The Way I Feel About You.
Wow.
That was a wow for me as well.
Wow.
It makes sense. If you listen to it, it's so good. That song's so good. Number 2 was Pebbles' Girlfriend.
I knew it.
Number 1,
Ooh.
Karyn White, Secret
Superwoman.
Rendezvous.
Yes.
Secret Rendezvous, number 1.
Yes.
Woo! What a tune.
All right, my bad. Wait, Superwoman didn't make the list?
Superwoman was in there.
Oh, I didn't hear it.
I didn't.
Superwoman was number 14.
Oh, my bad. All right, cool.
wow.
Whatever.
Okay. Well, let me also give you Karyn White's official top 10. So this is her top 10 from her catalog. She did say it was, it changes it, but this is what she's put down there. I'm going to put it in the comments for everybody. But at number 10, she put Secret Rendezvous. Can you imagine that? At number 10, she put Secret Rendezvous. At number, wait, let me get back to it here. Where's Derek here? Where's Karen? Her message here. Yeah. At number 9, she put Here Comes the Pain. Number 8, Can I Stay With You? Number 7, Nobody But My Baby. Nobody But My Baby. Yeah. Number 6, The Way You Love Me. Number 5, The Way I Feel About You. Number 4, How I Want You.
Wow.
Number 3, Tears of Joy. Number 2, Superwoman. And number 1, Love Sword.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is a favorite song.
Yes. Yeah,
so this is that is Karyn White's official top 10 songs right now. It did say it changed, but I'm surprised that she put Love Sword at number 1. I mean, I think Superwoman is always up there, but I think vocally she just destroys it on Love Sword.
Yeah.
Nobody But My Baby was the set. That was the track. The other track I would have. That was initially I took out, but it's a great track. That is a great track.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad she was there.
How I Want You picked that one as well. I thought
I love that.
Yeah.
Wow. Shame we not got Pebbles. Shame we not got Pebbles. But...
I did reach out to her to see if I could get to list and stuff, but when she does return, I will send it through. Okay, top 6 albums. So let's rank them. I would start off with at number 6. I had the Pebbles debut album. I only had one song from it. Wasn't my I only had one song from it. At number 5, I had Make Him Do Right by Karyn White. At number 4, it was Oh Wait by Pebbles. Number 3, Straight to the Heart by Pebbles. Number 2, Rituals of Love, Karyn White, and number 1 was her debut album, Karyn White album. I just, an album full of classic, and it just takes back memories. And but yes, so that's Rituals of Love. I just thought the energy with Jam and Lewis just created something different and magical. But Straight to the Heart was my highest rated Pebbles album.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Paige, what about you?
Before I share my list, I just wanted to show you this. This is the Karyn White album, Carpe Diem from 2012, produced almost entirely by Derek DOA Allen, who Namdi, you've interviewed, I think, in the last week or so. Brilliant,
back in the studio.
You've got to listen to this song on here called So Weak. It's so good. All right, back to my albums. Number 6 is the 91 album by Karyn White, Ritual of Love. Number 5 is the 1990 album Always by Pebbles. Wow. Number 4 is Straight From My Heart, 95 album by Pebbles. Number 3, 94 album Make Him Do Right by Karyn White. Number 2 is Pebbles album from 1987. And number 1 is the debut album by Karyn White. How amazing is that album? If I am saying it's a notch below that Johnny Gill album from 1990, that is the biggest compliment I can give an album, because that Johnny Gill album is if Johnny Gill is 100%, 100 out of 100, let's just say for argument's sake, this is like 98 or 99. It's there. It's so close.
Hey, you know, she sang on Phil with a friend and some others. She did all the backings.
Exactly.
They were like,
this is an Indonesian copy of the first album. And on this album, the album's not called what we know it as. It's called The Way You Love Me. Yeah, very strange. But Indonesian copy of that first album is the one for me. Out of all of these, by a country mile, nothing comes close to it.
Stevie.
My top 6 doesn't make any sense at all, but I kind of ranked it in what I play the most. Doesn't mean to say they're the best album, but at number 6, I had Pebbles Straight from the Heart because I only really played 2 tracks from it, but I gave it a rating of 7 out of 10. Number 5, I got Karyn White's debut albums at number 5. It doesn't make any sense because it's a great. I didn't buy it at the time. I bought all the singles, but I'm contradicting myself because I've got Slow Down in my top 5. But I didn't buy the album at the time, and that's the only reason. I've listened to it more now. Number 4, I got. It shouldn't be at number 4 because I'm going to move it to number 2. So number 3 is going to be Pebbles' debut album. Again, I didn't buy it at the time, but now I'm listening to it a lot. So it's made my number 3. Number 2, I'm going to go with Pebbles Always. Again, I just bought Giving You a Benefit of the Doubt. I didn't buy the album at the time. I got it later on, but I love that album now. So number 2 is Karyn White. I remember buying this CD when it came out, playing it to death. So it's made my number 2. And number 1, again, I played that to death when I bought it when it came out. Played it to death. So it's number 1. So there you go. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense though, does it really? I ranked them all 7 and 8 out of 10. Ranked them all pretty high at 7 and 8 out of 10 as albums.
Yeah. I think if I rated albums, probably because I won't say felt dated. It felt 80. It was early 87. Go ahead, Andrew.
Yeah, no, exactly. So my number 6 was Pebbles' first album, Like You Namdi. My number 5 was Make Him Do Right, Like You Namdi. Now We Differ. Number 4, I had Pebbles Straight from the Heart, or Straight from My Heart. Number 3, then I have Karyn White's debut album. At number 2, surprisingly, you know, even though this album gave me my top 2 of all, was Ritual of Love. So at number 1, from an album listening standpoint, I gave it to Always by Pebbles. I think I can just hit play and let the whole thing play. And especially at back half, right after the whole second side is like, I think, strong. Good Things, the weakest one on the track. It's the last song. But from Give It To Me, all to Why Do I Believe, then Always, then Stay With Me, it's just what? And then the album kicks off with Giving the Benefit. Backyard is cool. I mean, but it was a single. But then Love Makes Things Happen. Then Say a Prayer for Me, which is also decent. And then you have that little Why Do I Believe prelude. So, you know, as an album, I think Always for me is
I feel so bad for not buying the album when it came out because I've missed, you know, getting into it so many years later, you know, kind of kicking myself.
So before I say too much, I just want to say, before you suggested that, I was like Karyn won, like in my brain. But then when I look at the albums, then it's like, but for the albums, for me, Pebbles won. So now I feel like all is right in my world. Being favorites. Thank you for that, Andy.
Yeah, you know, unlike when we did the Boys to Men Jodeci, I think this time you couldn't really pick because there were so many crossovers, not just by the songs but by the albums, that it was hard to. It was when Patti LaBelle and Gladys Knight did verses. It changed the whole feel of verses, where it just became a celebration, where they were just singing each other's songs. This what felt to me was a celebration. You know, in previous episodes, we've normally gone head to head, and Boys to Men got spanked by Jodeci. in many occasions and is easy, or when we've done the producers, but this didn't feel like that. And the fact that everyone else that was commenting were talking about their songs, and there was nothing about who's better, who's fine, or anything like that. It was an appreciation of both great women who, Karyn just turned 60, and then Pebbles just turned 61, and and what they've done behind the scenes as well. And so it's just an amazing celebration. And they both married from the two greatest producing duos in our generation, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, and Ellie and Babyface, and produced Magic. So it was fun.
Here's a controversial question. Your 18-year-old self, you've been given a date night with one of them. Which one would you pick? A date night with one of them. Very controversial. In fact, don't answer that, guys. We'll answer that offline. There you go.
Yes.
Oh goodness!
Don't want to get Namdi in trouble or VJ in trouble with it, or you with your missus. So we don't want any breakups tonight.
Let's not do that. Thanks, TV.
So,
And Derek says that they should do a verses together. And you know what? I think the thing is, there's only Karyn is performing. I mean, almost. She took a hiatus and she's like hits the stage. And Pebbles has taken a backseat from performing and stuff. So, yeah. Anyway, it was great having you guys tonight. We will be back. We'll have our debrief to let you know what and when. And but definitely, please, with everything that we do, stream these albums or buy them as Stevie does with his. And check out Stevie's. Next episode of In Search for Vinyls, because you then start to uncover some gems and start thinking about songs that you haven't listened to in a while. But for us to do these episodes, we have to listen to these albums and get taken back. So the beauty of music is that even though you're not a big fan of what's coming out now, you can still rediscover some of the old stuff and still be like, oh my goodness, bliss. All right, guys, and thanks, Karyn, for stopping by and for her list. Pebbles will get yours and post it. So until next time, we'll catch you.
Thank you all. You've turned out in your droves tonight. These names I've not even seen, and then we've got our regulars here. Thank you very much for spending your evening with us.
Happy 50th birthday in advance, to be hopeful. I just wanted to call that out. That's awesome.
Happy 50th.
Yes, happy 50th. And also happy, tomorrow's Dawn Robinson's birthday, so giving her a birthday shout out a day in advance. Yes. All right. We'll catch you guys soon. Ciao.
Stay with us always. Good night.
Good night, guys.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of Halftime Chat. Please remember to subscribe, share, and comment. But most importantly, why don't you become a member of Halftime Chat? We've got amazing videos, amazing perks, and being able to support the channel. But anyway, thanks for watching. Take care.
I never participated in that kind of.
And somewhere in between
us for even loving us, on which I didn't miss you with.
What was it like growing up?
she's still making an impact on 4 houses down.
I have a couple pieces.
Trying to get this one and that one.
That works for you, but just for me,
No. Okay, you're okay.
They don't understand what Jonas Boys and men and all spirits.
play it. I mean, I love all different genres.